Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Adrian Reddix, and this is part 2 of the Mayhem Mystery Bundle. If it looks a little different in here, somebody decided last night to push over one of my lights and break the bulb. I'm not saying any names. Adrian, why would you do that, man? Anyway, if you missed part 1, it'll be in the description and up here. So let's get back into it. This will be the first game of this series, the 6th game of the whole series. Sounds good? All right. So the 6th game, or the first game of this series, or this video, is Tomb Raider Anniversary. It is a remake of the original Tomb Raider, the Tomb Raider I grew up on. And it's better in every sense of the word. The Tomb Raider series started, and it was phenomenal. I loved the game whenever I could play it. I didn't play it on the PlayStation 1 when it first came out. I think it came out in a bunch of platforms, but I think the first platform was PlayStation 1. Don't quote me on that one. So you play as Lara Croft as you do with all the Tomb Raiders, right? It looked a lot better. The engine seemed a whole lot better. Everything about this thing was better. The only bad thing that I didn't like was the targeting system when you pull out your guns. It didn't look as great. Playing this on a modern system as opposed to playing on the PlayStation, it just, the controls just felt better when you jumped or when you were swinging from place to place, or the jumping and hanging, and because in this game Laura always jumps and maneuvers over cliffs and things like that. It all felt better. It felt like they took a game that was already really good and made it better by updating it and modernizing it. To me, I think the game is fantastic. I really like this game. And the Steam rating for this game is 9 out of 10. The cost is $8.99. I think 9 out of 10 is spot on as far as the rating. And yeah, the next game is a game called, and it's another Tomb Raider game. So I guess this is going to be the Tomb Raider bundle. Yay, Tomb Raider bundle. Yay, Tomb Raider. The next game is going to be Tomb Raider 6, The Angel of Darkness. So this is another one of those older Tomb Raider games like we had in the first video in this series. And you had to do a little maneuvering to make this game work. So when you first pop it on, it did just like the other game and crashed. But the settings are going to be a little different on how you achieve this. So the only thing that really needs to be clicked on this game, if you go to the settings, whenever you launch the game, you go to the settings and you go to the video card that you have on yours, be it an onboard APU or a dedicated graphics card, right? And you have this one box you have to click called VMRA. It's a filter, a video rendering filter. Yeah, you don't really need to know what it is. Just know you need to click it to run. So I had a completely different experience from one system to the other. I have a laptop that I use for anything as far as work and school, and also for games that don't require a very intensive load. And so I played this on there. First of all, I couldn't get my recording software to work on it. It just recorded a very small square. But that's not a big deal because sometimes it happens with this laptop, so that's not a big deal. The bigger deal, let me see if I can find an example online, is when I was playing this, everything rendered okay except for her skin. It had a lot of splotchiness, like it was just like she had disco skin, where it was like, black spots in this area, and then it was just freaky looking. But if you played it on a system that had a dedicated graphics card like I did, all those problems seem to smooth out. The biggest part of this game is it's so stiff. When she moves kind of this way, and it's just a so slow game. It's stiff. The gameplay isn't the best. It seems like it was trying to become a stealth game, but they didn't achieve that. It seemed like they left the formula of what made Tomb Raider so good. The game is just not good. I didn't like it, and I'm a huge fan of Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider is one of my favorite series of all time. And this just wasn't the Tomb Raider or in the same vein as Tomb Raiders that I've ever played. This game got a Steam rating of 6 out of 10. I think that's a little high. And the cost of it is $6.99. Our next game. Our next game is a game called Vampire of the Sands. Now, Vampire of the Sands is what they call a roguelike dungeon crawler. If you don't know what a roguelike dungeon crawler is, so what a dungeon crawler is, it's a old school, not old school, but it's a game where you're the hero and you go into a dungeon. That's why it's called dungeon crawler. And you work your way through this this labyrinth of different levels, and you meet different bosses, and it's kind of like a dark fantasy type game. Now, roguelike means when you go through this game and you die, well, your character's permanently dead. There's no starting back over in that place. You go right back to the beginning and you do it over again. Some games like Diablo is a dungeon crawler. And games like Spelunky and The Binding of Isaac is another type of roguelike game. To me, they're a little more interesting than this game. This game is okay. The characters are fine. The gameplay is a little repetitive, and I do like the fact that it's a dynamic world, that you don't start over in the same spot. The enemies aren't in the same spot. The levels don't look the same. It's an okay game. I would definitely play it again. But would I sink a whole lot of time into it? No, I definitely wouldn't sink a whole lot of time into this game. This game received a Steam rating of 7 out of 10. It's not a lot to say about this game. That's why this part is it's not a lot to say about it. The price of this game is $4.99. The next game is a game called Cornerstone, the Song of Tyrim. This is about a young Viking boy named Tyrim who, in the beginning of the game, it stated that he was on his quest to become the greatest hero or something like that. This game is an RPG crafted game. The look of it looks a little like Zelda, the newest one, the Wind Watcher. Sort of. I don't think it looks exactly like it. It has that kind of feel to it. The mechanics of the game, it's a clunky game. It's also a crafting game, which I like. But the way it moved and how you interacted with the world, the game never really caught me as far as story or things like that. It seems like it was a game that was going somewhere, but then in the middle they were like, I guess, I don't know if it was time or whatever. It just seemed like it's an unfinished game. Not as far as like, oh, you'll go somewhere and it'll stop working, but it just seems like it wasn't fully fleshed out, and I got bored of it quick. It was of all 10 games we covered or are going to cover with this last one, it was the one that I spent the least time with, because it just didn't feel, I didn't like the way it felt. It felt like it was going to be a good game. It just didn't get there. So the Steam rating for this game is 7 out of 10, and the cost is $19.99. And the last game. The last game is a game called Dad Quest. Now, full disclosure, I already own this game. So I bought this game about 6-7 months ago. I saw it and it didn't look appealing. I'm not gonna lie to you. It looked like some cheapo game, and so I never played it. Boy, was I wrong. This game is fantastic. So you start off as a dad. Now you can pick a male dad or a female dad. You start off as a dad and you're training to be the best dad that can be. This game is full of like little corny jokes, which as a dad myself, I am very appreciative of, because I tell my fair share of corny jokes. Let me tell you. You want to hear one? No, no, it's fine. It's fine. We can go on with the review. You don't have to hear 'em. Hold on. I'm fine. All right, I got a joke. Why did the bike fall over? Because it was too tired. I thought it was funny. Anyway, there are a lot of these jokes throughout the game, from what I played. And so you go through, you learn your basics in the prologue, and then you decide to, and you pick out a kid. So you can pick out a boy or a girl. So I picked out a girl, and I named the girl Oedopolis. Wink. So you get to use the kid in a bunch of different ways. Each time you learn a new skill, it costs some form of currency that they have. And so one of the first things you learn is how to throw the child at things and then summon it back to your hand. So you throw the child at a pigeon and kill the pigeon, and then you hold your hand out and the kid comes back. And the next one is you use your kid as a melee weapon. So you turn your kid into a bat and you start beating people with the bat, the kid. And it's a very fun game. The gameplay is awesome. I really like this game. The Steam rating for this game is 9 out of 10. The cost is $12.99. So we're at the end of all the games. Let's add up all the value of this game and see if we got a good deal. Let's get my handy dandy one of these phones. One of them. All right. So let's go to the calculator. Holy potatoes were in space, 149, plus Space Moth DX, 499, plus Devil Daggers, 499, plus Echelon Book 3, 999, plus Tomb Raider Last Revelation, 699, plus Tomb Raider Anniversary, $8.99, plus Tomb Raider 4, The Angel of Darkness, $6.99, plus Vampire of the Sands, that's another $4.99, plus Cornerstone Song of Tyrum, $19.99, plus Dad Quest, which is $12.99. That gives us a total of $82.40. I think that's a great deal, but that's not the true story. Let's go with what games I would actually play and use again. Let's do another calculation, all right? Holy potatoes were in space. I would definitely play that game again. So that's plus 149. Space Moth DX. I was talking to my wife and she was saying that sometimes you need a game that looks pretty and you can sink your time into and not have a lot to think about. I agree with her on that one. So Space Moth is definitely a game I would play again. Devil Daggers was a fun game, definitely. Echelon Book 3, I will not pay you $10 to eat giant digital roaches. You can, whatever. Yeah, no. Tomb Raider Last Revelation, yes. I would play this game again. It was a little complicated to get running, but once you got it running, it was a very nostalgic feeling I got when I played the game. So yeah. Tomb Raider Anniversary, oh yeah, definitely play this game again. It took a better game and made it that much better. Oh yeah. Tomb Raider 4, The Angel of Darkness, nope, not at all. Vampire of the Sands, no, I didn't too much care for this game. It was okay. I don't really like roguelike games. Cornerstone, no. I think for the price, if I had to buy it independently, I would have been upset to pay $20 for that. And Dad Quest, definitely. I would definitely play Dad Quest again. And the total is $44. I still think that's a good deal, even though I didn't like 4 of those games. I still think that getting a bundle is one of the best ways you can increase your gaming library and get some pretty okay games. You may not like all of them. I hadn't liked any of the bundles that I got. I hadn't liked all of them in the bundles that I received. But that's okay. It's all about exploring and doing new things and experiencing new experiences. So that's it for today. Thank you guys for joining me. If you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, give me a thumbs down. Tell me why you didn't like the video. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a good one.